Hey, what's up everybody? This is UnhingedGaming and I'm coming in out with some more fresh high quality content. Today I'm going to be talking about something that was just released a couple days ago by the time this video is going up. That was essentially announcing that YouTube has created this new update regarding terrorism on the YouTube platform. And they're actually, so previously there was an update, I think this was the June 2017 update if I'm not mistaken, that had this redirect method that essentially when people looked for terrorist content on YouTube, they would get the opposite. They'd get anti-terrorist content, I guess. I'm not sure exactly how it works, but basically it did its best to hide those videos. And of course, as we all know, after Adpocalypse, they put into effect a lot of things to demonetize anything that had any sort of violent or hateful anything. And to take a lot of those videos down as well, if necessary, if they didn't meet community guidelines. But something that they just announced that I find pretty interesting is they're now actually going off of government lists to remove all videos from all channels who have any sort of extremist relations. So it doesn't have to be a violent video, it doesn't even have to be a video that has to do with terrorism. It's literally just any extremist video, no matter the content of the video, which I mean, I don't have an objection, of course, to impeding terrorists or hate groups. That would be pretty fucked up if I did. I do think it's a little weird though that YouTube is going extreme enough to be like, oh, this doesn't meet any community guidelines, but it's an extremist channel, so we're going to remove all of their videos. And it's also interesting that they're going, they've actually partnered with multiple governments and the governments are sending them lists of like, oh, these groups are extremists. Which again, I don't have an objection to it, but it does seem a little, I don't know. I guess it just feels a little like these people do have freedom of expression if they're not breaking community guidelines, which I mean, I could be misinformed. Maybe it's not all videos just from a channel that's in any way associated with it, but that's sure what it sounded like, which seems kind of like, if they choose to have those views, then they are allowed to do that as long as they're not doing or saying anything violent or hateful, because I get that like community guidelines say you can't be hateful on YouTube. So if they're hateful in these videos, whether they're violent or not, that's definitely not okay, and I think that those videos should be removed. But if they're just normal videos and this person happens to be a supporter or sympathizer of these organizations, but they're not breaking any laws or even any YouTube rules, I don't know that all of their videos should necessarily be removed. And this is like my opinions aside, because obviously I'm against any sort of hate or terrorism or anything, so like if you want to remove all those videos, that's great. But like my opinions aside, it's starting to go into where there's a little bit of bias coming into play, and YouTube is kind of bringing certain specific views and then squashing everything that doesn't match those views, which again, I think that anything at the expense or harm of others is not okay and shouldn't be on YouTube. But when you're dealing with things that, that particular video may not have anything to do with any of that, and that channel just had other videos like that, I don't necessarily believe that all of the videos should be removed, just the ones that are breaking the rules. And of course, assuming it's not an extreme enough violation of community guidelines that the entire channel should be taken down, because that would make sense, right? Like if they did or said something bad enough that their whole channel should be taken down, then yeah, definitely. But if it's just like bad enough that, maybe this video in particular shouldn't be up, or, maybe they didn't even really say anything that broke community guidelines, they just said something about being a supporter or sympathizer of a specific group that is extremist, then I don't know that they should necessarily have their every video taken down and like not be able to upload anything, because they might have something else that's like not in any way related to that they're trying to do. I don't know, it just seems a little weird to me to like to remove everything. Again, like anything that's stopping any sort of hate or terrorism, I'm 100% in support of. But when you're kind of just indiscriminately taking the things down because there was like an association with something there, it seems a little like, in this particular case, it doesn't seem that bad because, I think that they're trying to do a good thing with this. But I'm more thinking broadly, like, if they start doing it here, then could there be something else that's maybe just not matching the majority of people's views that could then start getting indiscriminately taken down because someone's in support of that, but it's not in any way hurting anyone else. It's just like most people don't agree with it. I could see it going that direction if we're doing it with this. I could see YouTube doing it with other things, and that's really my only concern. It's not this in particular, because this I think is a good thing, but like could it spread to other things of like, it's the same as, if you own a business, a public business, you can have certain things, like you could tell someone not to go in there if they have like a swastika tattooed on them or something like that. But then it would cause someone else to be like, well, I find this person wearing a cross offensive, or I find women wearing low-cut tops offensive, or whatever. And you start to get to where like you really can't keep that person out unless you keep everyone who could possibly be offending anybody out. And that's kind of where I could see this sort of going, is that it's like, oh, this is hurtful and offensive, and then it could start coming forward, well, I find this hurtful and offensive, so why aren't you taking those videos down? I don't know if it could really go that direction or not, because terrorist sympathizers are definitely widely unliked, but I could still see that sort of imbalance starting to happen. I don't know, maybe I'm wrong, but let me know in the comments down below what you think, if this is like a good thing that won't have any consequences, or if you think that it could start to change YouTube a little bit for the worse. And while you're down there, if you did enjoy the video, make sure to hit that like button, and also hit that subscribe button and the notification bell next to it to be notified of my future uploads. I do upload every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday. Also make sure to check out my Twitter, which is UnhingedTweetYT, where I post video updates and let you guys know when I go live on Twitch at UnhingedGamingYT. All the links are down in the description. Make sure to check them out. In the meantime, I've been UnhingedGaming, and I will see you next time.